Welcome to Sports Close-Up. Mike Fiorillo here. Today we're going to do Allegheny women's volleyball, and you just saw a ball presented to Coach Sheehan. Coach, first, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
600 wins as the Allegheny ladies volleyball coach. Congratulations, that's great.
Thank you.
And what made it possible to win 600?
Well, I mean, it's a process. From my first college coaching game to our Waynesburg match that got the 600 wins. It's a process. It's about players. It's about good players playing the game, passionate about it, buying into the system.
And it's also, you're very modest. It's got to be also that you are a very good coach and you know the game very well and you're able to teach it to your players. That's got to be part of the equation.
Yeah, it's part of that, getting good athletic talent in and then teaching them the college game.
Okay.
It's a faster game. It's a lot of more dynamic movements. So it's and tactical part of the game as well. So yeah.
All right, we're going to touch on some of those areas when we come back, but let's first look at your background, Coach. Where did you go to high school?
Cochranton.
Okay, and then from there you went to?
Slippery Rock University.
And you played volleyball there,
Played
correct?
volleyball there, yeah, 4 years.
And how'd you guys do when you were down there?
Very well. Made postseason play through the 4 years I played.
And you got inducted into their Hall of Fame also, correct?
That is correct.
That had to be a great honor.
It was. It was very, very. I was very surprised, but it was really a great honor.
And what position did you play when you were at Slippery Rock?
I was a setter, hitter.
Oh, awesome. I call the setters the quarterback of the team.
Absolutely.
You don't have a setter, you really don't have a team. Right? You have to have a setter.
They're the core. They're the core.
That's
Actually,
it.
the liberos are being a core. They're another core position right now as well.
Now, when you played, they didn't have libero,
Right.
correct?
Right. No.
Was the college game different when you played than it is today, or is it basically the same?
It's a lot different. We played the side-out game,
Okay.
and a lot of my teams here played the side-out game as well. So they played the same game I did early in my coaching career here.
Meaning they didn't have rally scoring.
Right, correct. And the rally scoring really brought a lot of different dynamics to the game. But the game's changed. The game has evolved in the let's serve now, subbing going 12 to 18 to 15, varied around a lot. Actually, we had an individual inducted in the Hall of Fame this Saturday, and she played in the 30-point rally games that we had.
Wow.
So now, so the game's changed.
So
a lot.
the game is faster moving now with the rally
Faster
scoring. So when you had side out, the games took longer, obviously, to complete.
Yeah, you could only score on serve, and you had to win by 2, and the games were long, tough matches.
Has the changes helped the game, do you think?
I think that the game. I like the rally scoring. Mm-hmm. I think it's good for the fans.
Right.
I think it's really an interesting game for the fans because teams can an opponent scores on errors, where in the side-out game it didn't really happen a whole lot. So I think it's good for the fans, and I like playing that more aggressive game.
Okay, Coach, let's go back a little bit. So when you graduated from Slippery Rock University, I think back then it was Slippery Rock College, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Mm-hmm. And now it's the university. You went back to your hometown, Cochranton, right?
Yep.
And worked there?
Yep.
And you started coaching there?
Yeah, 2 sports, basketball and volleyball.
Right.
Yeah.
How long were you at Cochranton coaching?
Basketball for quite a while, volleyball for a couple years. I assisted out at Maplewood in volleyball, so I was at 2 schools.
Okay, and how did you get into Allegheny College and getting this position?
Norm Sundstrom.
Mm-hmm.
He
Who was the athletic director at the time?
Who was the athletic director at the time, and Maureen Hager, who
Okay.
I had played volleyball with at Slippery Rock. And,
Okay.
So they kind of asked me to apply to the position. Wanted to get a college player and coach that knew the college game well.
And you've been here, we were talking off camera, 28, is your 29th year?
29th year.
29th year. Why have you stayed here so long?
I like the Division III philosophy. Academics were, it was always first for me when I was in college, and I really like players that are purely playing for the love of the sport.
Would I be wrong saying that since you're a Slippery Rock grad and you had success here, that Slippery Rock maybe called you, asked you to apply for their position back ever?
Well, they haven't. Lori Locash has been there as long as I've been here. So,
oh, okay.
She's a good coach down there.
Okay.
But the position we're there, sure, that would.
But you never felt to leave here because you liked the Division III and you liked the school?
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
And we have this great facility, but you and I were talking, and when he came here was the airport hangar, right?
Yeah, the old building with the cement stands, and there's just a lot of character to that building. One whole end of it was nothing but windows.
Right.
So when you were playing a match on a Saturday, you had to deal with all that sun coming in through the windows.
Is this a nice facility to recruit for?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and it's it's evolving. It's the administration's really getting to keeping it updated well, and it doesn't it doesn't really look like it's almost a 20-year-old facility right now.
All right, you get your 600 wins. This is your 29th season. How long do you want to continue coaching here at Allegheny?
Well, for me, it's all about the passion for the sport. And I think when a coach loses that passion, it just becomes a job. That's the time you got to get out, And I love the game, and I love coaching players to the same way, to love the game, to get excited about it, to have that, that I got to play mentality. So that's where it's at for me right now.
Do you ever go out and play with them sometimes at a practice, or show them how to do things, or?
Not lately, but I have.
Yeah.
yeah. It's something you get in ingrained in who you are. I played a long time after I graduated in USVBA and an actual AIA Eastern Regional team, national team, and a lot of sand for a long time. So. Yeah.
What's your coaching style? What type of a coach are you, and has it evolved over the years?
Coaching style is, my core style is really to have a passion, really want to develop players. Very goal-directed philosophy, and I think it's important for, players to see how they're charting and how they're getting better every day. So I think looking at stats and goals are always important. I think the evolution of technology changes a little bit of the style that you have, because you can introduce more technology to the sport through video, through live stats that you're taking all the time, through video delay that we use. So I think technology helps the system, but again, I think the philosophy is you've got to have a passion. You've got to want to develop relationships. Trying to get your players to get beyond their perceived limits and understand the process of getting better as a player, and the other things, the discipline, the work ethic, community service. I'm a coach that really believes in a lot of community service and getting players to engage in that process.
So you're a teacher as a coach?
That's exactly.
Yeah. And do you motivate kids, though? I mean, do you want to get in a locker room and give them a big rah-rah pep talk before a certain match, or?
I think for me, it's about how we're going to be successful for that time and what we need to do to put it in our game. And it's about what we bring. It's about what we can do. And, to motivate and inspire an athlete to want to put that kind of game on the court. We teach the core systems that we want to play in, whether it's offensively or defensively, or it's out of system. And there's a formation that we want to try to stay to. And I think all the training, all the movement training, and all the drill work you do is to get you to play on an aggressive game, a high energy game. I like to play a fast-paced game, And all those things require a lot of training, day to day to get that and keep it in your game.
So when you're recruiting an athlete to come to Allegheny, what type of recruits are you looking for? Obviously, academically, they're going to have to be strong to get into Allegheny, but what type of athlete are you looking for?
Well, first, academically. They really have to have a solid academic base. But, athletic and you're passionate about the sport, really competitive, high character players.
And how do you recruit? How do you find out about a good player and try to get them here?
Well, again, bringing them on campus, meeting with them, talking with them, having them meet the team, getting the team's input.
How do you find out about them to start?
We have a lot of different ways.
Okay.
We use recruiting services. We go to a lot of showcases, a lot of club tournaments, high school. There's a variety of ways that we locate players
So
that have to academically fit our profile first.
Correct. So when you're recruiting, does it mostly take place, like you talked about showcases, would that be in the summer or the spring?
All the time.
All the time. Recruiting all the time.
Spring, summer, winter. Clubs will start looking at tryouts in November.
Now you have one senior in the team this year, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Does that mean you're going to recruit one player next year? How does that work, like for a coach and your assistant coach? Are you only looking to bring in one player then, or maybe two or three?
We'll look at bringing in. We'll look at bringing in probably 4 or 5 players for this group.
So you like the competition factor in practice?
Yeah, I think it's that. I think being more competitive practice brings our level of game up tremendously, and I think that's one thing that we were able to do this year. That's made a big difference in our game, especially defensively.
I think I know the answer to this question. I'm going to ask you anyway. I know it's Division III, so some people say, "Oh, Division III, the emphasis is a lot less." Is it less winning in Division III? Is winning important?
It would be sad if it wasn't about trying to win, because then you have to ask yourself, well, why are you playing college game? Why are you playing an intercollegiate sport if winning isn't important to you? And I think it's a process. I think that success breeds success, and if you're that kind of an athlete, that it's about the team and understanding that everything that goes together to make that team a winning team. Team chemistry, the court dynamic. It's more than just wanting to come and just play some level of volleyball that doesn't really win games.
And when your players leave Allegheny, when they graduate, do they some of them stay in touch with you beyond?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do they help you recruit a little bit? Maybe some get into high school coaching, or they go to games and say, "Coach, this kid might help the program."
Yeah. We have that. We have kids that have coached. So it's good environment.
And you talked about you had a former player that got inducted recently into Hall of Fame here at Allegheny. That must make you so proud as a coach when you see that happen.
Yeah, actually, we have quite a few in the Hall of Fame now,
Wow.
and it's really great to see that our sport represented so well in the Hall of Fame.
And they go on to great careers. I see, and I watched getting introduced at halftime at a football game recently, and I see the careers that they go on to is amazing.
Right. Yep.
So it's a great academic institution. What about this year's team? How's this year going?
Good. I think we have a lot of talent, and we have some young talent that we're developing and getting into the college game. And I think the more we get those younger players into the system, the better we play the game. So I think Saturday's match against Kenyon on homecoming, we did a good job in really staying in system and really
You're being
playing
3-0.
We did.
I say you did a good job.
Yeah. But we were able to control our game, and it didn't matter what was on the other side of the net, good, bad, or indifferent. We were able to control what we were doing on the court. So that makes
So if your team plays your system, you're not concerned about the other team. Your system is good enough that you're going to beat the other team.
Yeah.
Correct?
That's correct.
And play error-free or as much as you can.
Yep, that is correct.
Maybe we put you on the spot, maybe not, Coach. But I got to ask this question since you've been here a long time. You started in one conference, you got moved to a different conference.
I never did.
Oh, you've always been in this conference?
Yeah, that
Okay.
was, the first year I was coaching here was our second year actually in the North Coast Athletic Conference.
What do you think about this conference?
It's tough, we have a very good conference nationally, a lot of national participation, and again, early on we were one of the teams that were going to nationals all the time. So, and highly ranked in Division III. So
you would have barred people one after.
Yes, absolutely. For years, we were the standard, and and recruiting, keeping the recruiting level up has been, is the real key to that. But again, it's been a very good conference.
So your goal is to get the Gator volleyball back to the...
Absolutely. We've made a lot of good strides this year.
And how many teams make the playoffs within the conference?
The NCAA's or the...
No, yours. Your own conference.
A conference, we do an 8 team.
Okay, and is it held in one place, or
one
is it
place.
One place? And
Yeah.
does it rotate?
High seed.
The highest seed. Okay, so where it might be this year?
My guess is it's going to be at Wittenberg.
Okay.
Wittenberg and DePaul are the two top teams at this point, this snapshot in time.
Be nice to get it here again.
Yes.
Because then a lot of local people love volleyball. This is, as you know, a hotbed of girls' high school volleyball around here.
Yeah, there is.
And to come in here and to see that would be really good.
Yeah. Yep. That would be awesome.
Well,
we'd be up for it.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Coach, thanks for your time. I'll interview some of your lady Gator volleyball players now.
Well, sure. Well, I'm sure they're anxious to get on the show here.
And congratulations again for winning 600 matches. What an accomplishment. Awesome.